So today I'm going to show you how to clean an engine bay. There's a lot of ways to do this. You can do this waterless or with water or quick detail spray and a towel. I'm going to show you guys how I do it with a real dirty engine bay. I'm going to use a couple cleaners, a couple tools, and I'm also going to use a pressure washer to clean down this 5.7 liter Hemi V8. Now a lot of people can go ahead and do this a couple different ways, but I'm going to show you how I do it because I like the results that this gives at the end. So I have this dirty engine bay right here on this Dodge Charger. It's got a 5.7 liter Hemi with a lot of dust, a lot of dirt. We got a little bit of oil buildup around the cap, and this is all normal for a daily driven car. Now a lot of people don't pay attention to the engine bay, but when you detail a car and you detail the engine bay, it really brings the whole package together. You could pop the hood and show how clean your engine bay really is if you have a nice looking engine, just like this Hemi. It also makes working on the car easier. Your hands don't get as dirty. It's easier to change the oil or do basic maintenance without all this dirt getting in your way. So I'm going to go ahead and first rinse down the engine bay, and then I'm going to go ahead and use our new cleaner. I'm going to use our AllClean Plus. This is our citrus-based all-purpose super cleaner, and it works on every part of the car. It works on the engine bay, the interior, the exterior, works on wheels and tires as well. You can dilute it to a bunch of different ratios, but we recommend 10 to 1 for the exterior, 20 to 1 for the interior. So I got this bottle right here already diluted, 10 to 1. I'm going to go ahead and soak down the engine bay and use a couple cleaners to make sure that we get that nice fresh look. So you can go ahead and do this with a hose, but I'm going to use a pressure washer today to make things speed along for that camera. Before you go ahead and do your engine bay, you want to make sure that you cover up any exposed electronics. So if you have an alternator that's exposed, you might want to cover that up. Also cover your battery or your fuse box if you know that it's not sealed. If you also have a cold air intake like an exposed air filter, you want to take maybe a bag, trash bag, aluminum foil, anything like that, and cover the cold air intake so you don't get that filter wet. This engine bay right here doesn't have very much exposed electronics. It's all covered up and our air box is sealed. So I'm not going to cover anything on this engine bay. I'm just going to go ahead and clean it as is. The cool thing about modern cars is all of the electronics, like any plugs, the MAF sensor, any other sensor plugs are all weatherproof. So they have a rubber seal so water can't get in or out. So most of the time if you have a newer car, usually 96 or newer, you don't have to worry about any of the water getting into the plugs and causing a check engine light. So we let this engine sit for a few hours. It's cold to the touch. You don't want to do this on a hot engine bay. You want to wait till it's cold. So now that it's cold, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the pressure washer, rinse it down, and start some cleaning. Let's get started. So now I got the engine bay all rinsed down. I'm going to go ahead and start with the cleaning. So I'm going to grab my AllClean Plus. This is a new formula. It's already diluted 10 to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it on the engine bay. And I also got some tools here that I'm going to use to clean the engine bay. I'm not going to use any towels to start the cleaning. I'm going to first use one of our short-handled bristle brushes. This is the flag-tipped one, so it's a little bit softer and sensitive. And I'm also going to use this goat brush right here to go ahead and get down all the cracks and crevices and get any dirt that I see in any of the areas like the fenders or the engine detailing around the cap, also around the Hemi logo. So let's go ahead and spray it down with AllClean and get started. So if you guys notice, I'm spraying all the engine bay. I'm trying to get all the little cracks. Because if I spray it in there, areas that I can't reach with my brush, the AllClean is going to be able to pull out all that dirt and debris. Let's get down here on the hoses and the ABS unit. Also back here on the fender. There we go, ready to go. If you want to, you can also take your stiff bristle brush, spray it with a few sprays of AllClean so we can get a little bit of an extra punch as we start cleaning. So let's start the scrubbing. I wet this brush a little bit before I started so I get a little bit of lubrication. I don't want that dry friction going on. Everybody knows we don't like dry friction. It hurts. Want to make sure we get that lube. So if you notice, Since the brush has water in it, we're also getting a nice foam, and that's also going to help us take away any dirt and debris off the engine. Make sure we clean this intake and get in all the cracks. That's what's cool about the short handle brush, is it gets in all those cracks and crevices very, very easily. Take my goat brush, get in around the oil cap. There's a little bit of build-up oil residue on that cap, and I want to make sure that it looks real good. Also around this radiator, overflow tank. You see my brush is already getting dirty. That's what we really want to see. It's good to clean your engine bay once in a while, because if you don't, you find these leaves and stuff get stuck in there. Pull those out. We have some in this crack over here. Get those out of there. You can tell this car probably sits under a tree. So I don't think the owner really wants this stuff in this engine bay at the car show. It's just gross. If you're guys doing a bigger engine bay, like a big truck or a SUV or a big rig even, airplane, something huge, maybe even a bus, we have a long-handled bristle brushes, so you can have full access when you're detailing. There's this little bit of stuff right here on this overflow cap that I don't like. I want to go ahead and scrub it off. So I'm going to pay a little bit extra attention on there to make sure it looks good. There we go. Now we got it all agitated our dirt. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the pressure washer and I'm going to go ahead and rinse it all off and get a free clean look. So let's go ahead and start that pressure washer up. Now that we've got our engine bay all rinsed off, I'm going to go ahead and start it up real quick to make sure that I don't have any check engine lights, bad sensors, or I'm missing the engine. So I'm going to grab the keys, start it up, and this is also to help the engine dry. When you go ahead and start it up, the engine gets warm, and it'll evaporate all the water in those small cracks and crevices. Let's go ahead and grab the keys and start it right up. Now we got our engine running, and if you notice, it started up clean, crisp, no issues. That's what we really want. We don't want any check engine lights or any type of damage to the engine. So this way we didn't soak it with a lot of water, we just pressure washed it off and got it clean. So now I'm gonna grab 2 microfiber towels, and these are gonna be my drying aid as I'm gonna go ahead and dry off all those little parts of the engine. These are a 16 by 16 workhorse towel, so if they get dirty with grease, I'm not scared about ruining them. I can just throw them right away. So let's go get drying. If you guys want, while you're doing this, you can go ahead and use air as well. A lot of you guys don't have access to air, but if you have an air compressor, that really does help with the cleaning. Right now I'm doing this the way you guys would do it at home, with no air, just some microfiber towels, basic hand detailing tools, stuff every guy can do in their garage, even girls too. Sweet, now that engine bay is clean, it's fresh, we have no residue or dirt, and our plastic is all dry to the touch. That's what we want. So now I want to make this engine bay a little bit better, because I'm a little bit better like that. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the engine bay down with silk shine dressing. You don't want to use an oil-based dressing on engine bay. It collects a lot of dirt. So I'm going to go use a water-based dressing to make sure I get that nice sheen, not a shine, sheen. Looks natural. I like natural, just like I like my women. So I'm going to go ahead and take the silk shine, shake it up. I'm going to go ahead and spray it all over the engine bay. Now, some people like to rub this in with an applicator pad, but personally on an engine bay, there's a lot of cracks and crevices that it's difficult to get with an applicator pad. So I like to spray the silk shine all over the plastics and let it soak in. Let the plastics absorb any of the material. Plus it gets in all those cracks and crevices that are hard to get to. Let's move over to this side. You can get this on your hoses too. If your hoses look a little dull, you can spray silk shine on your hoses and make it look brand new. Also, the heat of the engine helps dry the silk shine. So that's why I told you earlier, start the engine, let it warm up a little bit. Helps the drying process. There we go. Now that my silk shine is all spread out, I'm going to take a microfiber towel. There's another one, green 16 by 16. I'm going to go ahead and wipe down all of the excess. So this may take a minute because I am a perfectionist and I like to do it perfect. You can already see over here on this corner, right where the silk shine is just doing its job, making it look real nice and fresh. That's what we really want when we're detailing. We want that fresh look. Dressing's all about personal choice. You go to other parts of the world, other parts of the country, some people may like a bright shine. I call that the ghetto look, but I like a nice natural shine. And a lot of detailers are starting to like that way too. Some people don't even like a dressing, but with silk shine, it doesn't even look like a dressing, it just looks natural. Silk shine's also great because it works on the dash too. In my personal car, when I detail it and I clean the interior, I give it a once over on all my dash, door panels, all that good stuff. With the silk shine, makes it look real nice, and I like the look that it gives. It gives that sheen. Everybody likes the sheen. There we go. The engine cover is looking fantastic. I'm really liking that. I love when you detail engine bays because it's a very rewarding task. You take something that's just completely filthy, destroyed, nasty, it's got grease, dirt, all this nonsense, and you turn it into something amazing like you bought it from the dealer. This Mopar is looking really good. Every car guy knows it's Mopar or no car. So now our Hemi's looking real nice. Oh, there we go. Detailing engine bays is probably one of my favorite things to do. It's not hard either. It's very easy, and that's kind of why I like it. Easy jobs are fun when detailing, because you don't have to put a lot of work into it. As you can see, I'm not really working really hard. I'm letting the chemical and the dressing do the work for me. And once you got it all wiped down, just go over it with your eyes, give it a second glance. Make sure there's not any areas that you missed, any extra puddles of any dressing, or any extra puddles of water. If there's water on the engine bay, it's okay with silk shine because you can go ahead and still get that good look, and the water won't interfere with the silk shine like oil-based dressing. There we go. That looks real nice. So that's it. Look at that. We have a nice, clean engine bay, and that really is going to stand out. So I believe this Charger is going to a car show tonight in SoCal, since we're located in Los Angeles. And it's going to go ahead and show itself off. It's actually 90 degrees out here. So tonight is going to be one of those car show nights that's going to be great. So if you guys have any more questions about our AllClean, this is our citrus-based all-purpose super cleaner. Great for cleaning engine bays. Awesome for cleaning interiors. It does everything. It's a true all-purpose cleaner. If you have any more questions about this awesome product, you can check it out on our YouTube, our Facebook account, or you can find me and AllClean Plus hanging out at chemicalguys.com.